That my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we went on the ride nobody wave, we're the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grr.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's Smith. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. On 2nd down, Eckler. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. It's Eckler again. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
Well, we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize. Put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction.
From the 39, Smith. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys. Justin Jefferson, 61 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. The slot man in motion right. On 1st and 10, Young. Flushed out right. And he wisely would throw that one away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Young. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. Justin Jefferson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Smith. This is swung out to Eckler. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Smith. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Smith steps away to his left. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. Touchdown, Cowboys. Chris Godwin from 21 yards away. And the Cowboys are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on. Both sides moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half with the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
Young on third down. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Bell. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay off.
Oh, it's complete. A diving grab there by Brown. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. William the Refrigerator Perry. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
On 2nd down, Young. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, Steve Young. And this is caught. It's Brown. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Steve Young. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Fields this way up at the 17. And he tries to get as much as he can here while protecting the football as he dives to the ground. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
On 2nd and 9, Smith. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now Geno. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Being chased out left. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Geno Smith taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Cowboys take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the third. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a short kick taken at about the 16. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. He just danced away from that one defender on his way to a gain of about 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Young. Got him in. It's Brown. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
From the red zone now, Young. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. The great move couldn't free him. Taken down at the 10. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down. On second down, Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Johnson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Throwing now is Geno. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
Taken in at the 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick-6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And my goodness, another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just...
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Cowboys are right back in this football game. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Fridge, William Perry, breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And this is intercepted.